Good evening and welcome to Between the Sheets, where we take 12 years of marriage experience and give unsolicited advice to those who choose to enter our room.
All right, people. So tonight we are going to be talking about men's emotions and, more importantly, black men's emotions. So we found a clip on TikTok that really kind of made me want to talk about this topic tonight because I think it's something that's not talked about enough, and I kind of want to address it. So we're about to jump into it right now.
A lot of niggas be going through a lot of trauma and they don't be saying nothing, right? Like,
And that right there, that statement, they go through so much trauma, but they don't say anything about it. In my majority experience, whenever talking to a man about something, specifically cisgender heterosexual man, talking about what happened to him with a woman that he was dating, he'll tell me either cheated, whatever, right? Whatever the situation. But the vocabulary just isn't there, being able to express and to articulate and do like an analysis of what happened and knowing how to bounce back from it. And when it's been just a room full of us men and just talking about women, a lot of men don't want to go there. They don't want to do a deep dive into how it impacted them. Like they're scared to. But when I'm hearing it, either talking to a woman or hearing their conversation amongst women, they have full access to their emotions and knowing how to talk about and express what happened.
All right. So I'm a man, right? Some of y'all are men. Watching this video was extremely interesting for me. Now I've seen the full video of the first guy that was speaking, and I would have to say that analysis that he gave in the first guy, the darker guy, that he gave was true, extremely true, as a matter of fact.
What was the analysis?
When he was talking about basically guys not talking about their feelings and needing to normalize talking about what some women end up doing to them because they're traumatized. It's not very different from what women say that the men do to them in relationships that leaves them kind of traumatized and leaves everybody with emotional damage. It happens on both sides. I don't really know why this is a competition, but it really shouldn't be. But here's the thing, right? The second guy, that was even more interesting because he gave an analysis basically saying that men don't have the vocabulary to express these feelings and that women basically have a full range of vocabulary when it comes to expressing their feelings or their emotions surrounding these type of damaging situations. And what I want to say is, I don't think it's that men don't have the vocabulary. It's that they just don't want to talk about it, because I feel like women are pushed from a younger age, or it's allowed for women to actually express their emotions.
It's encouraged.
Right, it's encouraged. It's such a freely pushed thing for women to be able to do things like this, to express their emotions. But for men, it's not. And I know a lot of women will say, well, that's not necessarily true. And I know a lot of women that will say that that is most definitely true. Because here's the thing, right? This is a multifaceted issue. It's not just, oh, well, men just don't want to share, or men just don't want to go to therapy to get this situation taken care of, or to get these issues handled. It's think about it like this. From a young age, most men have been told not to really express their emotions.
Boys don't cry.
Boys don't cry, or man up, or something like that. Or, oh, you all right, just get up and just
Shake
dust
it
yourself
off.
off. You good, you good. And those are in situations where, maybe the boy was hurt physically, but that a lot of times kind of transfers into mental situations too, because even when, little kids, especially little boys, are crying, they'll be told, stop crying. And I want y'all to follow me with this next statement, because I know some people, And I would dare to say a lot of women would be saying, well, men shouldn't be teaching their little boys that. But check this out. It's not just men teaching their boys this. You have aunts, you have uncles, you have moms, you have grandmothers teaching the little boys this because this is what they've been seeing. Not only that, the women that these men end up dating in their lives, think about in high school. I don't know many girls in high school, or we know that middle school is not really a real, relationship situation. But in those scenarios, if their boyfriend in that, that age group, started to cry or started to express their emotions other than him saying, oh, I love you or something like that, she would look at him like he was crazy or a weakling, you know? So men are discouraged from sharing these things from a very young age. So men travel through life feeling like I can't or I shouldn't share these things or I shouldn't talk about these things because who cares? Who cares if I feel bad or who cares if, I'm going through something? Other than what, a guidance counselor or something like that in high school or in middle school?
I don't even think that. I have 3 brothers. I didn't grow up with sisters. And I can remember watching my older brother and my younger brother have their hearts broken by women, by girls in high school and in adulthood. And just, oh, you okay? Or it's all right. She wasn't the right one for you anyway,
Right.
type situation. And never being able to kind of expand on that. And I say my older brother, my younger brother, because my baby brother was the heartbreaker. So we not going, But he has emotion there too that he's not allowed to express. Like, okay, maybe I did do not so right by this girl and she's gone and now I'm feeling that, but I'm not able to express to you that I'm hurt and I realize that I messed up type situation. You get a lot of just dust it off. It's okay, move on, let it go type situations. And it's a disservice to men because you get that, and especially at a young age where you're told, just shake it off, you okay? Or someone hurts their feelings. Someone doesn't want to play with them. And you tell them, well, it's okay, it's their loss. And they're not allowed to feel that emotion and express to you that it hurts my feelings because this person doesn't want to play with you. And then you fast forward to when they're 17, 18, 19, 25, 30 years old and their mate is saying, why don't you talk to me? Why don't you tell me what's bothering you? Why aren't you telling me that your feelings are hurt? And things like that. Even when we talk about things like a family member dying, you don't really see men crying and upset. It's almost like they have to just step down on those emotions and not deal with it. I watched my grandmother died last year. I never saw my dad cry. Not one time did my dad shed a tear in front of us. Now, he did express to me, that he cried later, but it was almost like, I can't do that in front of people. That's not appropriate. And so they're busying themselves with other things to do because in an effort not to deal with or express those emotions in front of other people. And it's a disservice to them because it affects them emotionally and they're not able to express and deal with. And you know what it's like to have this big emotion and you have it tucked inside and you're not able to release it.
Right.
But then on the flip side of that, it's affecting them, but it's also affecting their partner because I can't even offer you any help or support because I don't know what's going on.
Right.
I know that there's something bothering you, but you're not able to tell me because you feel like you're not allowed, because you feel like I will see you as weak. I don't know that we've ever had this conversation on if you feel comfortable expressing emotions to me. I think that you do. I think that you express your emotions just fine to me.
Are you talking to me, or you
Yes,
talking to somebody else in this
I'm
room?
talking to you. Anybody else in this room?
So I'm confused on what you're saying, because
I have, but we've never had the conversation.
did we need to?
Again, I said
Okay.
I feel like
Okay.
you don't have any issues
Uh-huh.
expressing emotions to me, but we've never actually had a conversation about it.
No, I don't. I wouldn't say that I have issues. I would say that I'm not about to be expressing everything all the time to you. And I don't recommend that anybody do that, because the thing is, even though you should be in a relationship with a partner that allows you the space to be able to do that, I think, and for me constantly burdening you with, feelings that I might be having, that can become a lot. You got your own feelings. You know what I'm saying? You're not supposed to be carrying my feelings and your feelings at the same time.
But I'm not carrying them. I'm just helping.
But I will share when I need to share. But the thing is, though, most men don't have a wife like you. Most men are not in relationships like you. And what does the single man do?
I would like to clarify a little bit that when we talk about emotions, we're not just talking about sad emotion. Because I think a lot of times, too, it's like you think about, well, I don't want my man crying on me all the time. Nobody wants that. He also don't want a woman crying on him all the time. So it goes both ways. But it's also expressing joy, expressing anger, frustration, disappointment. Like, you should be able to express a multitude of emotions and not just have to bottle it down. I think it's obviously much easier to express joy than it would be to express sadness.
Well, it's assumed okay. Let me just say.
I was about to finish, because you don't express joy as much as I would like you to.
You talking about me?
Yes. You don't. You are very chill.
Because that's what I am.
I know.
It's not because I don't want to share.
Excited.
It's not because I don't want to share
excited,
or I don't want to share my emotions.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, you don't get excited. Nothing excites you.
Things do excite me.
You don't express it.
See, I think the problem that you're having is you think you're trying to tell me how I should be displaying my excitement.
Probably, yeah.
That's not how that works.
You jump for joy.
If I'm a chill person, I'm not going to display
chill person.
my excitement the same way somebody that is just head over heels in love with something would normally display these things. I'm not, I'm an introvert. I'm an introvert, right? I'm not going to display these things the same way as an extrovert or somebody that's extremely bubbly all the time. I'm not that type of person.
I think the takeaway from that is also, we can't tell each other how to express whatever emotion that we're feeling, because I would like him to be more excited and jump for joy and turn cartwheels. Meanwhile, he could be super excited and he's going to be sitting there just like this with maybe a smirk on his face. That's about all I'm going to get.
But back to what I was saying, he also said something about women just having a full range of emotions. And it seems like people assume that men are just robots or something like that. Like, we don't have a full range of emotions. We 100% do. But we're not going to show it the same way. And I know you said we're not just talking about sad emotions, but I'm talking about more so the more negative side of the emotions when we go through hurt, pain, trauma, and sadness, depression. There's a lot of men out here walking around in depression, and a lot of women seem to think that is one thing that leads to bad relationships, which it could be, but a lot of times society itself just expect men to just walk around like stone walls, like nothing bothers them. Oh, nothing hurts them. I've seen so many times on social media and just in talking, listening to conversations and talking to women, because my field of work, I deal with a lot of women, just women. So just in conversations, oh, nothing hurts y'all. Like when you're talking about relationships, it's always, oh yeah, nothing hurts y'all in a relationship, but that is a crock of crap, because that's a lot of times, honestly, that most of the time relationships at a young age will be a man's villain origin story. Like he'll have that one relationship, and I saw just the other day where somebody said something about, it was a woman. She said something about, y'all have that one relationship when y'all were in high school and y'all just use that to just destroy other women. Should they be destroying other women based off that relationship? No, they shouldn't be doing that. So don't misconstrue what I'm saying. But the dismissiveness of that comment was insane. And that's another thing that happens with men in their relationships and with their emotions. Their emotions get dismissed all the time. So it's like, why in the world am I sharing emotions that nobody cares about? I'm gonna take a break and a pause right here, and I'm gonna come back to it later. I'm gonna say this again later, but bros, what you need to do is, if you're having trouble, seek therapy. It helps. I promise you, from personal experience, it definitely helps. Now, I'm not gonna get into my story on why I went, and no, I wasn't raging out and knocking people out and like abusing my wife or anything like this, nothing like that. But, therapy definitely does help. But back to what I was saying, these villain origin stories, it's just like with the women now, they'll have a relationship and then they'll equate that relationship or the few men that they've dealt with all men. And they'll say, they'll make broad generalized statements, and later on they'll say, well, I don't mean all men. But the mind is powerful. You can say you don't mean all men, but that mind, that subliminal part of your mind, have you thinking, yeah, actually I do kind of mean all men. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not going to deal with the majority of the men that you come in contact with the same way as you would have dealt with them before the emotional damage. So men are kind of the same way in that. Like you'll be in a relationship early on in life, and then someone will hurt you, right? Or you'll start noticing a pattern with the women or the girls that you were dating earlier on in life, and then it'll change you. Just like the men that are trash men running through all these women are changing the women. It's no different. I don't know why it seems to be that one sex seems to think that the other sex is way different in that scenario. Both sides get hurt the same way. Like, just because one side doesn't show it doesn't mean that that side is not getting hurt. And what happens is you end up in these situations, as she just said, you get hurt as a younger person, but you feel like you can't, or you feel like you shouldn't talk about it. It's not that I don't have the words to be able to express it. It's just that who the freak is going to listen to what I'm saying, because I'm being dismissed over here, being dismissed over there. So now in our community, younger in the past, nobody was going to therapy. What did we say? What did the older black people say about therapy?
Therapy for white folks.
Therapy for white folks. Bruh. Now that we've gotten into the later years of so now we're in 2022, right? Black men are actually trying to now go to therapy. It's a new thing for us. Please give us the space and the time to be able to change. It's not going to be right and heal. It's not going to be overnight. Most men have gone their whole life without being able to express trauma. If women have been going through life being able to express these things and and not walk around with this ball of, hurt, anger, trauma, depression stuff down inside of them. Y'all are able to get that out, and most men are not. You gotta look at it in kind of a different way. Now, should they be acting out in certain ways? No, but that comes with healing. I'm not giving them a pass at all, because they need to heal and they need to stop the nonsense that they're doing, for the ones that are actually doing nonsense. But the thing is, we also have to make sure we're stopping nonsense on both sides, because oftentimes it's always assumed, like the first gentleman was saying, that it's just a man that just went through the relationship and just murdered everything. Like it was just a terrible situation for the woman because the man was a bad person. But that's just not true. It happens all the time where the woman has been the terrible person the whole time. Men are being labeled as narcissists and all this kind of stuff, but there are female narcs as well, causing these same issues to men and messing them up for the next person. But the thing is, there's a large difference between men and women when it comes to things like this. Men typically don't blanket statement the women and say that they're all terrible women, but women typically, women are typically the ones that would do this to men. And I don't know really what to do with that. What do you do with that?
I don't know what to do with it.
Because, I mean, at this point, what is the solution? Because right now, again, men are trying to seek help, but it seems like men are not given the space. But you know what else is crazy? When I read these comments about this, it's almost like, because we're feuding right now, right? Not we. And
Men and women.
Men and women.
We seem to be in a feud state.
When I'm reading comments about these things about emotions and stuff, on posts like the one that we just showed, the women are kind of saying get therapy in an insulting type of way. It's like, well, you need to seek therapy, you need to heal. But why are you saying it like that? That's almost another form of somebody being dismissive. Like, I mean, I know I need to heal. I might not know, but you telling me I need to heal in a very insulting way is not going to cause me to want to heal, especially if I need to heal, especially if I'm one of these combative, argumentative men. I'm just going to argue with you. Oh, and I can hear y'all now. So I'm not supposed to say, or whatever y'all want to say, whatever type of argument y'all want to bring up. No, we're not expecting you to be in the comments trolling each other. We're not expecting that. But here's the thing, right? It shouldn't be an insult to tell someone that they need to go to therapy. It shouldn't. Especially if you really want them to go to therapy. But to be completely honest, you don't really care if they go to therapy or not.
Right.
You just saying that because you know you're going to get a rise out of him. So in that situation, I think you might need to go to therapy as well.
I think most of us need to go to therapy, if I'm being honest about it. We all have some form of trauma or emotional scars that we not handling appropriately. The majority of us need some help, okay? And while I love our friend circles, if your friend circle is not full or at least staffed with one professional person who can help you, you probably need to go seek some professional help. And there's nothing wrong with it. Like, therapy can be a godsend if you let it work. A lot of us have the tools that we need. We simply don't use them. And for whatever reason, you tend to activate them when someone else tells you need to activate them. So go and let somebody tell you to activate your tools you already know you have, so that you can heal yourself and be a better person for yourself and for your potential or current mate.
For sure. And listen, for those that are still on the fence about getting therapy, and if you feel like you don't need therapy, try it out anyway.
Does not hurt.
It doesn't hurt because you might figure out that something.
I'm gonna drop some help real quick.
Eh,
Listen,
Go ahead.
real quick, for anybody who wants to say that you don't have the money for therapy, if you work a job, most jobs have an employee assistance program, right? You can go through that employee assistance program and get free therapy. Free. It's no cost to you. Don't even worry about it.
Free?
It's free.
So
This is what I do for a living. It's free, y'all.
So it doesn't hurt. But the thing is this, you might go to therapy and you might find that it was actually helpful. Maybe you did have some things that you need to work out, you know. But therapy is not easy for everybody. But like I said, if you're still on the fence about it, try it anyway. Just try it anyway. Because here's the thing. A lot of times therapy is extremely eye-opening, and some of the fixes and some of the issues can be extremely easy and something you may not have thought about, but when you hear, you just like, why in the world didn't I think about this? This is actually insane. And it could definitely bring about a healing that can definitely propel you to the next stage in life and get you out of whatever rut or whatever you're going through or whatever you think that you're not going through. Just try it out. Just look into it. And like I said earlier, y'all, my dudes, please, if you feel like you got something going on that's bothering you, stressing you out, you feel like you're depressed, seek help, bro. Seek help. Therapy is not an enemy. Is something that most people can benefit from. Most people have had some type of childhood trauma in some way, shape, or form, or some type of trauma that happened in a relationship, or even something that happened during a marriage. You know, we got to figure out a way to fix this issue between black men and black women, because that's who I'm worried about right now, because I got black sons and I really, really, really love for them to be in relationship with healed people that came from healed parents, not a bunch of parents that had issues that they imparted into their children. Like, because right now, I don't know where I'm gonna find. My kids are gonna find the wives right now. I don't, or the friends, the bros, because everybody running around here traumatized, man. Like we got to really figure this thing out, because if we keep going the route that we're going, this separate route, ain't gonna be no more kids, man. Like, where the kids gonna come from? Like, you want to be single over here, women. Men want to be single over here. Or they want to be with the women that want to be single.
I don't really think men want to be as single as women want to be.
Absolutely not.
I think that more men want to be in a relationship. I know that it's a whole thing, women saying that there are no good men out here. There are no men who want relationships. I find that to be untrue. I know a lot of men who want relationships and simply cannot find women who want to be in a relationship.
Right.
And there is obviously the flip, women who want to be in a relationship and they can't find a man that wants to be in a relationship. I don't know how y'all find each other, because y'all exist on both sides.
Right.
You do. And it's really, really sad when I hear these things from coworkers and friends and colleagues, and they're like, I don't want to be alone, but here I am alone and figuring it out. So we need like a black couples looking for a couple retreat. Something. I don't know.
Something.
We need to find the ones who want to be in a relationship on either side and figure out how to get them together so we can have some happy, healthy relationships.
That would be fantastic. I'm not a matchmaker, so
neither am
I. I cannot fulfill that role. I don't know. Maybe. Well, we don't know what the future holds. We're gonna see. But yeah, like I said, therapy. You need to be able to voice your emotions, but also we need to be given the space to be able to voice the emotions. So please start teaching your children men who are in their sons' life how to voice their emotions. I don't know how the single mom that don't have contact with the dads will be able to teach this situation, but there are mentors that may be able to help with that.
It
But
goes back to just allowing them the space to express their emotions. Don't hit them with the, oh, you all right.
yeah, but
But it
also,
is different coming from a man.
but it's a balance though, because you can't coddle them,
right.
because that creates another issue.
But then you also have to give them a little bit of love.
Right.
It's a balancing act.
Yeah, it's a delicate situation, and that's why you kind of need that balance, that man and woman balance in their life to make sure that they're going the right way. And you not only do you need the balance, you need a balance with a more open outlook, because it can't be like you said, dust yourself off and go on about your business. But that just kind of goes to our other conversation that we were having about teaching our sons what to look for in a relationship, because a lot of times being traumatized in a relationship is because the son didn't know what to look for in the woman prior to getting into the relationship. And all he saw was a big booty. And that led him astray. So now he's messed up and he can't share his emotions. And now he's just dogging everybody else out after that. So we can't have that. This situation got to be fixed.
We also have to get some healed men. So we have to work on raising our boys healthy, able to express their emotions, that type of deal. But we also have to work on allowing our men to heal, and men allowing yourselves to heal.
Yeah, that's where we at. That's where we at. And but we got to get it taken care of, quick, fast, and in a hurry. I'm gonna let you close us out. Everybody bow your heads.
I'm not about to look into therapy. The other thing to bear in mind, that I think a lot of people think that therapy means you're going to therapy for the rest of your life. A lot of times you just need 1 or 2 sessions, once again, to activate the tools that you already have, and you just don't know how to use them. So don't be afraid of it. Use it. If you're uncomfortable with it, by all means, find a trusted friend and just sit down and have a conversation with them about how you're feeling. Like, there is nothing wrong with it. There is a huge uptick in Black male suicides. There's something wrong. Mm-hmm. Find some help. Please, I'm begging you, find some help.
Please.
That's our PSA for the evening. Everyone, have a good night. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay sound, mind and body. Good night.
Peace.